Dead Awake is a new horror film directed by Philip Guzman and starring Jocelyn Donahue. And it's an interesting film because it's based on the idea of sleep paralysis, where, honestly, it's a real thing where when you're asleep, your brain emits a chemical that paralyzes you, so you don't enact your dreams. So you're not like running around while you're sleeping or fighting or doing anything like that. But the problem with that is, for some people, you can wake up and the chemical is still being in your body, so that you're paralyzed but you're awake. And a lot of times that's accompanied by feeling a pressure on your chest and seeing hallucinations and being really scared, like, for your life. And that's the cool thing to make a movie about.
You've seen it, haven't you? This is a case study conducted. The deaths of hundreds of people who died in their sleep. All of these victims reported seeing someone on top of them, strangling them.
The only problem is that whenever you make a movie about sleep and it's a horror film, you're immediately going to be compared to Nightmare on Elm Street. And this one is especially, doesn't do enough to distinguish itself from Nightmare on Elm Street. And especially from the main villain that's in their people's dreams. And that's, they call it, the old hag. And they show way too much of her, and she doesn't look good. She looks like you could go to a Halloween store, buy some makeup, and do it yourself. It looks like a Halloween store costume. And, that's a shame, because, some of the scenes they have some cool scenes where, they're in a dream almost, and then it kind of changes, and she comes up and, straddles them and strangles them. But I think that's another problem. This is every time that she's in their dreams, all she does is strangle them. And it gets boring. Every time it's ah, oh no, I'm dreaming, ah, oh no, I'm dreaming, ah, oh no, I'm dreaming, ah. And every time they don't do anything different with it. And it's weird because, they're different people, and a lot of times they have, the start of a dream, and, every time they do it, the lights dim, and it's oh, you're in the dream world now. And it's just, they don't do enough with it. So the plot of the movie is that there are these twin sisters, and the one twin is having a rough patch in her life, and she's having these horrible dreams where this person's choking her to death, and she keeps waking up, and she can't move. And, she tells them at this party, and they're like, oh, yeah, whatever. And then, you see that the other twin, kind of shares the dream with her and sees the hag killing her sister. And then after that, the hag starts showing up in her dreams, and it shows up in their friends' dreams. And, it's an interesting idea because, they say that, the only way it can hurt you is if you believe in it. But, how can you not believe in something if you know it's real? And this is funny because they're going around trying to prove it, trying to figure out how to stop it. But while they're doing it, they're talking to all these people about it, and those people start believing them, and then they have the hag come into their dreams. And it's kind of a cool idea. But, they have some parts where they think that, oh no, I kind of told them about this. What if they're happened to them? Then you go there and it's a false alarm. And then the only reason they did that was to make it so that they couldn't try to help the one guy not have the dreams anymore. And it's just kind of goofy. Another thing I found really weird was that they do a lot of, they search online for stuff. And, every movie does that. They try to, figure out what it is. And at one point, they watched, a YouTube video. This guy had the same problem. And he's trying to figure out how to stop it. And, they go to try to meet him. And when they go to meet him, the guy looks just like this other sleep doctor that they've been talking to. And I was like, I had to stop the movie and rewind it and look at the YouTube video and look at the doctor and look at the guy and at that time, and they look a lot alike. And I thought, wait, are they twins too? Is that what you're doing? Or no? Okay, they just look alike. Okay. Honestly, my other big problem with the film is that it's not scary at all. And like it should be like a little bit scary. I mean, the Nightmare on Elm Street series, they're scary, and they're like brutal, and they're there's a slasher, but also like a horror aspect to it. And there really wasn't any of that. Like all she's doing is choking her victims, and but it's like they don't really like they see it in the dreams, but you don't like watch it. It's not like, oh, that's really weird. Like everything they do, a lot of it has been already been done by like the Ring movies, like how they appear, like they crawl down or the Grudge, like they crawl down the stairs or they appear out of like water on the floor. And the big thing is too, like the one of the climax of the film. I won't spoil it, but it is very reminiscent to one of the Nightmare on Elm Street films. I forget the name of it. I know it's when they fight back and they try to bring Freddy. They wake him up while they're dreaming and try to bring him into the real world to kill him. Now it's not exactly like that, but it's enough like it to be a little weird. I don't know, like I won't spoil it, but I don't know, it's a little too much of the same thing. And then at the very end of the film, again, not spoiling, but they do a Bagul scare. And that's just the cheapest thing in horror films you can do. That's basically like when the film's over and they have the whatever the villain, the monster in the movie go, ah, at the audience. And it's just so corny. And they do it, and they do it poorly. And like I knew I was watching, I was like, they're gonna do that Bagul scare, aren't they? Like, yeah, they had. Okay, that's what I expected. And honestly, I give this movie like a 6 out of 10. It's not horrible. Like you can watch it and enjoy it, but I wouldn't go out of my way to see it. It's a decent horror film. When they didn't explore the idea of sleep paralysis enough, and didn't have an interesting villain, an interesting monster, but it's a decent film. You can check it out if you want. If you want to check out my other videos around my head, go ahead. They're doing playlists and different things. Okay, thanks.